Welcome back, you lousy Florida traveler. We're still over here at the Suwannee River State Park. Another little loop we're going to take here called Sand Hill Trail. Leads up to an old cemetery. This cemetery was from the town of Columbus, back when Columbus and Ellaville, and it's abandoned now. It's not used. It is maintained. So we're going to check it out, go over there and see what's there. See if we can get a few pictures and a few names. We can do a little historical research. If you're interested in it, let's take a little trip. I'll meet you over there. So now we're headed down Sand Hill Trail in search of Columbus Cemetery. I can see a marker up there. It'll tell us something. As it round the corner, I see there are several markers. In the 1800s, this track was a well-used road connecting the town of Columbus to the outside world. People traveled by stagecoach, covered wagon, horse-drawn carriage, on horseback, and on foot. Work wagons creaked under the strain of heavy loads of baled cotton and barrels of turpentine on their way to the ferry landing. We're going to cross over Stagecoach Road and just go straight on across. Approaching another kiosk. Telling you about prescribed burning. Better stop and look at our map here. Get ourselves orientated. We still headed right, I think. We're slipping through the sand hills and the pines. You can see where it gets its name. Just a cool tree we come across here. I'm starting to think our guide got us lost. Or maybe these youngins, not really sure. Okay, I see something through here. I'm pretty sure that's it. Seems to be really well maintained around it. Looks like there's at least a couple, maybe 3 different styles of fencing, including block and some wire. The town of Columbus, all that remains.
The body's under the grave.
Life in a river town. Today you hear only bird songs, but close your eyes and imagine the crunch of the wooden wagon wheels, carriages, and horse hooves on the old Stagecoach Road. Steam whistles of logging trains and river boats pierce the air above sounds of life of the town in Columbus. And on a hot summer's day, you might hear the excited cheers of the town's children as they run to meet the steamboats. At its peak in the late 1800s, more than 500 people lived here. The confluence of the Suwannee and Withlacoochee rivers gave rise to a town bustling with commerce, settlers, and tourists headed deeper into Florida's interior. The memories remain. The sounds of children playing along the riverbanks and the hustle and bustle of the cotton, timber, and turpentine industries have all grown silent. Memories of the descendants of those pioneers' families and the cemeteries are all that remains of this once vibrant town. Clothilda O'Hara Maynor grew up in the town of Columbus in the late 1800s. Her family lived in a large sprawling home just off Stagecoach Road near the Civil War earthworks. Her father ran a ferry and operated a general store, which was a popular gathering place. As an adult, she wrote Yesterday in Old Columbus. This account of her childhood and her reference map helped bring this frontier town to life again. We're going to kind of ease around, and not only to begin with, we're just going to look at the outcropping of the cemetery and the way the walls are built, and then we'll come back and look at some of the graves. See the block, then capped and turned sideways with some smaller block, 3-hole. That comes on the front into an iron gate. What? You can see the headstones inside.
What's their name?
We're gonna find out. Let's walk around here. There's one right behind it that's all iron. Oh, I see another one out yonder. So there's several scattered through here, I think. You can see these. And while we walk here, I'm gonna read you a little bit of history too. This cemetery was established in 1860. Contains 23 marked graves. Earliest is in 1862. The last known in 1973. These graves consist of marble, granite, and old metal headstones. This one over here is some type of stone with a decorative. Okay, it's just fancy brick of some sort. Looks like they colored the mud and filled it up to it. And these are all in a row. Now, these are sealed off. You can't get into these. Walk right here. Looks like one outside of it. It's out in the open. And then I see another setup over here. Looks like the trail goes on around. There may be some more over here. We'll come back to that one. Come on. Let's walk right here. This looks like a single grave out by itself. Is her name on that side? The initials TES on this side. So this one does have a big gate on the front that swings open. Thomas E. Swift, beloved husband of Amanda Swift. 1851 born, died in 1893.
Papa, I want that.
You want just one last little view of the cemetery before we move forward, before we leave. Now we're gonna come off the back of the cemetery and take the trail on around. I can see another kiosk over there, so we'll go see what's there. Surprising sand hill. Although it may not look like it, there's a huge diversity of life here. Over thousands of years, natural fires created an ecosystem as rich in biological diversity as a tropical rainforest, and most of it is at your feet. In an area the size of a hula hoop, you can find as many as 40 different types of plants. In the sandy soil, you can find gopher tortoise burrows, southeastern pocket gophers, and Florida harvester ants. Every time you visit, you can see something different. In addition to the year-round animals who live in the sandhill, spring brings migrating birds, and fall hosts an explosion of wildflowers. Blending right in. Well, that's old Steve Pole. Right here. I'll stay where you at. Must be a sinkhole of some sort. Get there a little closer and see what we're looking at. Yeah, that's a sinkhole. There's one. Let's see, there's one over here. One over here. There's another one over there. I'm assuming sinkhole. Or where somebody dug, maybe? Not sure. She's over here and look at this one. Just give you a better idea now that we've seen that where that rabbit ran in. This is what we just looked at where the holes were. Probably the same thing that's in that head. So now we've made our circle. We're back at our trail head and we've completed Sandhill Trail. So it appears that the trail just circles around here on Sandhill Trail. If you look through there, you can see where we just come from the cemetery. We've walked around this way and now we're going to make a loop right back into the trail. So this completes our little trip through the Sandhill Trail, looking for the Columbus Cemetery. So as you can see, it was broke down into about 4 little plots with a single grave over to the side. Not sure what that is. I'll do a little bit of research, see what I can come up with on that. You can tell this was well maintained. The different styles, I'm guessing that come from different eras of time. Not sure. I really didn't have a lot of time today to take in the full effect of what was there. I just done a lot of photos and picture taking, but I'll check it out, and if I come across something cool, we'll look it up and see. I'm more curious why the one guy was buried outside of everything else. Anyhow, this is pretty cool. Appreciate y'all joining me.